What if I told you the story that touched millions is about to take its most powerful turn yet? The Chosen has already given us unforgettable moments of hope, sacrifice, and miracles. But now the question every fan is asking is this: when will Season 6 arrive, and what will it bring? The journey of The Chosen has never been just another television series. It has been a worldwide movement that connects people across cultures, languages, and beliefs. When the first season arrived, viewers were struck by how deeply it portrayed the lives of ordinary people who walked with Jesus. It was not about making the past feel distant, but about pulling us into their struggles, their doubts, and their faith. This is why every new season becomes more than an episode release. It becomes an event that fans around the world look forward to with excitement and prayer. As Season 5 left audiences in awe, the anticipation for Season 6 has grown into something extraordinary. People want to know, not just when it will come, but also how it will continue to unfold the journey of love, sacrifice, and faith. The creators have always promised that this show would go deeper with each chapter, and if the past seasons are any sign, Season 6 may hold the most intense and emotional moments. Yet think back to the earlier seasons. When you first saw the miracle of healing, or the scene where the disciples chose to leave everything behind, those scenes were not only entertainment, they were reminders of the kind of courage and belief that can transform lives with every passing season. The story has grown heavier with emotion and richer in meaning now with Season 6 on the horizon. Viewers can expect to be pulled even further into this world. The stakes are higher, the emotions are stronger, and the message is clearer than ever. The audience does not just want more episodes, they want answers. What happens to the disciples as their mission grows more dangerous? How does the story of sacrifice and redemption build toward the ultimate moment of history? These are the questions that make the wait for Season 6 feel both exciting and difficult. Because this is not just a drama, this is a story rooted in the deepest truths, and it demands attention from anyone who has followed it. The Chosen has managed to bring together people who normally do not watch faith-based series. It has broken barriers by telling a human story first. It shows us tears, laughter, failures, and victories in a way that feels real and relatable. That is why Season 6 is not just another step in the journey, it is a promise of something even more powerful to come. The creative team behind the series has shown a deep respect for history and at the same time a talent for making it come alive in ways that no other show has managed before. So as we prepare for the release date announcement, fans are holding their breath. This is not only about marking a date on the calendar, it is about preparing for an emotional ride that will shake hearts and open eyes. The story has always been about connection, about how faith can survive through trials and how light can shine in the darkest times. Now with Season 6 almost here, that light is ready to shine brighter than ever. Every story has a turning point, a moment when everything shifts and the weight of destiny begins to press down on the characters for The Chosen. That turning point feels closer than ever in Season 6. This is not just another continuation of events, it is the chapter where shadows grow longer, where decisions carry heavier consequences, and where the disciples step into moments that will test everything they believe. The power of The Chosen has always been in its ability to make the audience feel present. You do not watch from the outside. You walk beside the disciples. You sit in the crowded streets. You hear the whispers of doubt. You see the miracles unfold right in front of you. Season 6 promises to intensify that experience, taking viewers deeper into the struggles that will shape history. It is not about showing a perfect world, but about reminding us that even in the presence of greatness, there was fear, conflict, and sacrifice. What makes this season unique is the sense of urgency that is building with each passing scene. In earlier seasons, the tension grew as if something was waiting on the horizon. Season 6 carries that tension forward and magnifies it. This is the season that prepares us for the most powerful story ever told, but it does so in a way that still feels deeply human. The characters are not distant icons. They are real people who wrestle with doubt, pride, anger, and hope. This raw honesty is what gives the show its heartbeat. The anticipation for Season 6 is not only about the plot, It is about what it represents. Every fan knows that we are moving closer to the most emotional and defining moments of the journey. The question is not whether it will move us, but how deeply it will shake us. The choices of the disciples, their courage, their failures, and their unwavering loyalty are about to collide with events that the world still remembers 2,000 years later. That kind of storytelling does not just entertain it, transforms them. Imagine the scenes. Yet to come, crowds pressing in on every side, the clash of voices between leaders and outcasts, the quiet tears in moments of doubt. The sudden silence when a miracle changes everything. These are not only story beats, they are experiences waiting to be lived. The creators of The Chosen understand that, and in Season 6, they are prepared to deliver scenes that will leave the audience holding their breath. But here is where it becomes even more unique. Unlike many series that simply retell history, The Chosen weaves emotion into every frame. It asks us not just to know the story, but to feel it. To stand in the sandals of those who risked everything, to ask ourselves, what would I do if I had been there, that I'd been there? Season 6, not just a television event, but a spiritual journey that viewers cannot ignore. So, as we wait for the official release date, the anticipation is not passive, it is alive. Fans are not only waiting, they are talking, sharing, hoping, and preparing. Because this season carries the promise of something unforgettable. The Chosen Season 6 is not just arriving, it is approaching like a storm, one that will pour light, truth, and emotion onto every screen it touches. The heart of The Chosen has never been only about miracles or grand speeches. It has always been about people and the quiet struggles that shape their faith. That is why Season 6 feels like more than a continuation. It feels like an unveiling. The disciples we have walked with from the beginning are no longer the same men and women we first met. They are being refined by fire. They are being pressed into moments where choices will cost them everything. Think of Peter, the fisherman who once doubted, now standing in the middle of storms that threatened to drown him both in water and in spirit. His voice has grown louder, but so have his fears. Season 6 is expected to dig deeper into that inner conflict, showing us not only his bravery, but also his breaking points. Then there is Matthew, the tax collector, whose transformation from outcast to follower has been one of the most inspiring arcs. Yet the path of faith is never smooth, and Season 6 may test the very identity he has fought to reclaim. Mary Magdalene's story continues to be one of redemption and resilience. She has walked through darkness and found light, but the shadows are never far behind. Her presence in Season 6 carries the weight of past pain and future strength, reminding us that redemption is not a single moment, but a constant journey. And then we have Judas, a name that history never forgets. In past seasons, his role has been subtle, but Season 6 will likely place him closer to the edge of his fateful decision. Watching him wrestle between loyalty and temptation will bring tension unlike anything we have seen before. The beauty of The Chosen is that it does not rush through these lives. It lingers. It lets us sit in the silence after an argument, or the tears after a failure. It allows us to see not only the miracles, but also the confusion, the misunderstandings, the jealousy, and the longing for answers. These are not saints carved in stone. They are human beings, and in Season 6, that humanity will be stretched to its breaking point. This season is not only about events, it is about the soul of each character. How do you follow when following means suffering? How do you believe when the world around you calls it foolishness? How do you stand firm when the very ground seems to shake beneath your feet? The Chosen asks these questions not just of its characters, but of its audience. It forces us to see ourselves in their doubts, in their courage, in their failures. Scene in Season 6 will likely feel heavier because the characters are closer to the ultimate moment in history. The time of comfort is fading. The time of confrontation is arriving. And through each step of the journey, the audience is being drawn into the emotional storm that will define not just the story, but the message that has survived for centuries. This is why fans are not simply curious about Season 6, they are emotionally invested. They want to see how these people they have grown to love face the greatest tests of their lives, and in that desire lies the true strength of The Chosen. It is not just a series we watch, it is a mirror that reflects our own battles and asks us, What would you choose? The screen fades to black. A single breath echoes, a footstep lands in the dust, then the world opens. Two chaos crowds pushing forward, voices crying out, soldiers marching in the distance. In that storm of sound and shadow, one question rises louder than all the rest. What comes next? Season 6 does not whisper its arrival. It roars. Every frame feels alive with urgency, as if history itself is racing toward a breaking point. You can almost hear the clash between faith and fear, the spark of hope rising in the middle of opposition. This is the rhythm of The Chosen at its most powerful. It does not rely only on spectacle. It builds suspense with human faces. Faces of those who are about to make choices that will echo for eternity, the trembling hands of a disciple torn between doubt and trust, the piercing eyes of leaders who fear losing control, the soft tear of a woman who knows she is walking into the unknown. These moments combine like fire and fuel, igniting scenes that burn into memory. The energy of this season is not only in the dialogue or the miracles, it is in the atmosphere. The sound of sandals rushing across stone, the hush of a crowd before a confrontation, the sudden shock of a miracle that leaves everyone breathless. This is not just storytelling. It is immersion. You do not simply watch it. You feel it in your chest, as if the ground itself is shaking beneath you. What makes this trailer-like build unique is that it holds back just enough. It teases without fully revealing it, promises without handing everything away. You are shown glimpses of fire, but not yet the blaze. You are given the tension, but not the release. That is what drives anticipation higher with every heartbeat. The audience knows something monumental is coming. They can sense it in the tone, in the silence, in the thunder of scenes yet unseen. Season 6 is the kind of storytelling that turns waiting into an experience itself. You do not just mark days on a calendar. You replay the trailers. You rewatch the old seasons. You discuss theories with friends. You let the anticipation grow until it feels almost unbearable. And when the first episode arrives, it will not feel like another release. It will feel like a moment in history, one that fans have been preparing. Fourth Chosen has mastered the art of building momentum, and in Season 6 that momentum is at its peak. Like a drum beat that grows louder with each strike, it demands attention. The question is no longer if it will move you. The question is how hard. It will hit. There's a moment before every great reveal when silence feels heavier than noise. That is where fans of The Chosen find themselves now, waiting, watching, searching for any sign of Season 6's arrival. Every post, every interview, every teaser becomes a clue, as if the release date itself is a treasure hidden in plain sight. And with each passing day, that anticipation does not fade. It grows stronger. The reason this release date matters so much is not only about knowing when new episodes drop, it is about the emotional journey people are preparing for. Audiences around the world are setting aside their expectations, making room in their hearts for what comes next. This is more than television. It is a shared experience. A global family waiting to take the next step together. The suspense has become its own story. Fans talk about it as if they are detectives piecing together evidence. When will the first trailer appear? Will the creators surprise us with an early drop? Or will they make us wait until the very last moment? The tension is almost cinematic on its own, and it mirrors the story being told within the series, waiting, testing, hoping, enduring until the right time arrives. What makes this unique is how The Chosen has built trust with its viewers season after season. It has delivered not just episodes but experiences. So now the waiting for Season 6 is not frustration, it is expectation. It is like standing before a closed door, knowing that when it finally opens, what waits on the other side will be worth every second of patience. That is the kind of anticipation most shows can only dream of creating. Picture it now. The trailer drops out of nowhere. The screen lights up, the voices return. The story continues, and finally, the words fans have been waiting for appear across the screen. The release date, the moment of certainty, the confirmation that the wait is almost over. That single reveal will ripple through social media, through communities, through living rooms across the world, like a spark in dry grass catching fire. But till that reveal comes, the silence continues to speak. It tells fans to prepare. It tells them to remember the story so far. It tells them that Season 6 is not arriving as a casual watch, but as a milestone, a chapter that demands attention. The waiting becomes part of the experience, sharpening every emotion, so that when the announcement finally arrives, it will not only satisfy curiosity, it will shake hearts. The Chosen has always carried a message that timing matters. Miracles often came not when people demanded them, but when they were truly needed. Season 6 will be no different. Its release date will not just mark time on a calendar, it will mark a moment. In the journey, a moment when history retold collides with history being made in the hearts of millions today. The wait ends in a single heartbeat, the silence breaks. The music rises, and in bold letters the truth is revealed: The Chosen Season 6 release. Date: the moment fans have prayed for, whispered about, and searched for finally arrives, and it is more than just an announcement. It feels like a promise kept. This reveal is not simply about when the episodes will begin, it is about what the date represents. It is a line drawn in time, a marker that tells millions across the globe, here is the moment where the next chapter begins. The energy of that revelation is electric, spreading instantly from one viewer to another, igniting excitement that cannot be contained within seconds. The words are being shared across social media, across dinner tables, across communities. It is not just news, it is a movement echoing far and wide. The power of this reveal lies in its timing, just as the story within the series builds toward a climax. The release announcement builds anticipation to its peak. Fans know what is coming will not be ordinary. These episodes will carry weight and meaning, unlike anything before. The reveal date is not just about scheduling, it is about preparation. It gives the audience time to ready their hearts and minds for a season that will challenge, inspire, and transform. Imagine the scene: the trailer ends with a pause, the screen fades to black, the music lowers into a single note, then the words appear glowing like fire against darkness. Season 6 premiere date. That single moment holds more power than 1,000 spoilers, because it carries certainty. Fans no longer have to ask when. They know, and that knowledge fills them with joy, hope, and urgency. The beauty of The Chosen is that it never treats its audience as passive watchers. It invites them to join in the journey, and so the release date reveal feels like an invitation, a call to gather once again. Chance to witness together what will unfold. Each viewer becomes part of a larger story, one that extends beyond screens and into lives where faith, courage, and sacrifice still matter. This is the climax of anticipation, the moment that transforms waiting into action. As soon as the date is revealed, people begin planning. They circle it on calendars. They talk about watch parties. They prepare themselves for sleepless nights of binging or quiet mornings of reflection. They know that when Season 6 arrives, it will not simply fill time, it will mark time. It will be remembered as a season that changed how people saw the story once again. The reveal is not the end of the suspense. It is the spark that lights the fire. The countdown begins, and with every tick of the clock, the excitement grows. This is the unique rhythm of The Chosen. It builds, it waits, it reveals, and then it explodes into something unforgettable. The story of The Chosen has always been more than a retelling of history. It is an invitation to step into the lives of people who dared to believe in something greater. Season 6 is not only the next chapter of that story, it is the bridge that leads us closer to the most defining moment in all of human history. This is why the announcement of its release is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new one. When fans see the date, they will not just mark it on their calendars, they will feel it in their hearts. They will know that once again they are about to witness moments that will test courage, stir emotions, and ignite conversations around the world. The release of Season 6 is more than entertainment. It is a reminder that hope is alive, that faith is powerful, and that the story of sacrifice and redemption still speaks to us today. This is where the audience must decide how they will prepare. Some will rewatch every episode from the beginning, letting each moment remind them of how far the journey has come. Others will share the news with friends and family, bringing more people into the experience. Still others will quietly wait, holding on to the expectation of what lies ahead. No matter how each person prepares, the truth remains the same. Season 6 will meet them all at the same destination, a story that unites the world in its power. But even as the trailer ends and the screen fades to black, the message does not stop. It carries forward in every heart that has been touched by The Chosen, It carries forward in every conversation, every prayer, every act of kindness inspired by the story. This is what makes the series different from all others. It does not end when the credits roll. It lives on in the lives of those who watch. So now the call is clear. The Chosen. Season 6 is on the horizon. The release date has been revealed. The countdown has begun. Only question left is, will you be ready? Will you walk this path with the disciples? Will you open your heart to the story that continues to change the world? Time is near, the wait is almost over, and soon the world will once again be reminded why this story matters forever.